Hello, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our productivity sprints. What is it? Conscious action towards success, right? That's what we've
You're right.
decided.
I'm glad you jumped in and did the introductions because I forgot what we were doing completely.
All good. All good. I think we are, I think we're all set up okay and well. Let me check to see if anyone's here, which not yet. I don't know if Bailey is planning on joining us. He didn't mention that he was coming, so we'll just kind of see who else might pop on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So do you want to start with who you are and what you're working with tonight, what you're doing tonight?
My name is Melissa Peters, and I am an author of a cozy horror young adult novel. I'm working on a short story for our February short story prompt that Samantha and I are doing. I have it outlined, and I'm going to start writing it tonight. So that is exciting.
Nice. So I'm Samantha Osei, and I am a writer looking to publish sometime this year or early next year, depending on when things work out. I'm currently working on the short story from January that I haven't yet to finish. So that's what I'll be working on for the most part, and hope to. Yeah, I'm struggling with it, but I do hope to get that finished by the end of this month.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What area are you at in it?
I am like halfway through, so I expect to have 15 scenes, and I've got, I'm on scene 7. I'm a bit stuck, so I've had to do some research because I realize I don't really know, or I didn't. I know a lot more now. I didn't know a whole lot about pirates to begin with, other than the typical our matey kind of things. And I was like, so trying to write about um, like the boat or the ship, the different parts of the ship, where they are, how it's controlled over the water, how to write about a storm, what happens, right? Like all of this stuff that I was like, okay, I thought pirates might be just a fun thing to do. And it's become a lot more educational than I thought it would. So, guess it's the beauty of writing, though, of different things and whatnot. So,
Exploring new worlds. Yeah.
yeah.
Mine will be about at least one archaeologist, more like 2. So I might get lost in a bit of research as well.
Yeah. So so the prompt, so for those that come and watch later, we've had 2 prompts so far, and the first prompt was for January was an ink blot. And so you can utilize that prompt however you want and put it within a short story. Or Melissa, this first one, did it as part of like the beginning of a novel. It just became one, and it worked out that way. So this next prompt that Melissa's currently working on is the Lost City. And so you can incorporate it however you want, whether it's an actual lost city, or maybe that's the name of a book that someone finds, or maybe it's a Legoland. I don't know. You know, who knows? So she's writing on that. And then once I'm finished with my January prompt, which gosh knows when that's going to be, then I'll do the February prompt. I have a feeling it's going to be like next year.
Aww.
It'll be
Maybe we'll take March off.
It'll be my February 2025 prompts.
That's fair. You have a novel you're working on as well, so
Yeah, and But I think as I've mentioned to you before, Melissa, that it's been really helpful to do this just to understand a little bit more about my process and the areas that I get stuck in. So this middle part, and I know a lot of writers have that challenge, is how do you write the middle, what happens and everything. And even though I kind of have it outlined, I'm still finding it difficult because I don't really know, like, logically what happens. So for instance, um, I'm at a place where the ship suddenly comes out of a storm, and then it's a storm that's unexplainable. So it just kind of appeared out of nowhere and then it stopped. And so the crew is discombobulated, and I'm trying to figure out, well, what would the captain do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, would he say something? Would he shrug it off and go, I don't know, some weird thing just happened? So I don't know. And so I'm just trying to get into his mindset, which has been difficult, but
I read, it was an article from the New York Times. I don't subscribe, so I could only read the first two paragraphs. But there was a teacher of some sort who proposed to her class that they pick the most abhorrent thing that somebody could say, or that you could say to somebody, and then you take that sentence and you write a monologue of somebody who says that at some point in their monologue, but at the same time you give them some characteristic that the reader could empathize with. So like their child is sick or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't want to give you another writing task, but
Right.
maybe doing something like that would help you get in his mind a little bit better.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, oh, I want to do that. But what's the most abhorrent thing I could say? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I could figure it out, but
Right. Yeah, but like, now in that instance, was it like the person writing, or I guess I could say, what's the most important thing I could say as the captain?
um, the
Or
word was abhorrent, so like the most distasteful thing you could say.
oh,
But you could do it. You could do it with any phrase you wanted.
right. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just say whatever the most distasteful thing. That's a pirate kind of thing, right? That might actually work really well. I don't know. I'd have to figure out how distasteful I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a little out of my zone of knowledge. Pirate distasteful. That's definitely not me, but maybe my character.
Yeah.
So
I just
that's
thought
a
it would
good
be a
idea.
really great way to do characterization, but also explore worldviews that aren't your own.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I was when I've done some classwork with StoryGrid, one of the things that they mentioned is needing to find ways to be outside of your own perspective. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to react a certain way as you, and oftentimes authors get stuck in that kind of perspective when they're writing. And so instead of, you know, moving into a reaction that's based on someone else's past, you get stuck into what you would do. And so, even though it's realistic for you, it's not really realistic to the character. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes remembering character motivations can be tricky.
yeah, just need them tattooed. Well, I wouldn't be able to see it if it was tattooed to my head.
You could get
life.
a mug like me. I like this mug a lot. Where's my camera? I like it, but I would never say something like that.
Do I look like I care?
Yeah.
I don't know. You said something like that earlier today. I don't care.
About what?
About like having like the style that you used to have and whatnot with
Oh yeah, the fashion sense. Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But I
So
wouldn't say that to a person.
right.
And I'm sorry you got the coffee side of my mug.
Oh no, it's fine. It's totally fine. I meant to go get some tea. I bought a whole bunch of tea, and so I have to drink a lot of tea. So, but I forgot to get some. So I might do that at the beginning of our first sprint.
Sure. I'm gonna sprint, but I might run up and see why the entire house smells like bleach right now. I think my
Oh,
roommate's doing something with the bleach.
I would hope so. Otherwise, something else is there might be another problem.
Yeah.
But well, should we get started? Looks
Yeah,
like anyone that's here is probably is that's all that's going to be here.
that's okay. Maybe more people will come later
Yeah,
as we build consistency.
yeah, definitely. All right, let me go ahead. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press start and then mute. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. We just finished our first 25-minute sprint. How did that go for you?
I was a little distracted. There was bleach upstairs. The carburetor was stinky. But then the kitten was too cute, so I had to. She was sleeping and she had her one paw over her head and she was holding her ear down as though she hated my music. So I had to go annoy her a little bit. But I got 266 words.
Hey, that's pretty good for being distracted. So
Yeah.
I have to say, I got 318. I made my tea. So this is an herbal tea. This has absolutely nothing to do with writing, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So it's called Cupid's Cup is the tea blend. And it's like strawberry and apple, and it's an herbal tea. So it smells so delicious. And it tastes delicious too, but as soon as you like open it, it's like, I guess we're not muted either. So I should probably stop that little banner. There we go.
Oh.
I always forget
I was like, I can hear you.
So anyway, so this is divine cup of tea, and just the smell of it, I don't know, takes me out to like some, I was going to say like tropical island, but not really, just somewhere else.
I've had strawberry tea before, but it wasn't my favorite, but I love apple. I have, Is it apple? I don't think it's apple. I like cinnamon, I guess. There's a rooibos that has cinnamon in it, and I like it. I feel like it has apple in it, though.
Cool. Yeah, I bought a lot of tea so I order from Adagio Teas, which is my favorite place to buy tea, and I bought a lot of it. So I'm like, I have enough probably for several months.
Yeah.
Even if I drink 2 or 3 cups a day, I think I'm good for a little while. But
I like tea as well. I don't have that much herbal tea because I like caffeine. I like herbal tea too, but I have I bought the 500 pack of tea bags for Earl Grey tea.
Right.
So I'm set for a while.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, just, I told you a little earlier that this year I just suddenly got really more into tea. And so, and because it's night, that's why I'm having the herbal tea. I have some dessert teas, but they're all black teas and have caffeine. So I'm like, no, I should not have that during an evening sprint. So
I'm having decaf coffee, but I forgot I had Bengal spice. I could have had Bengal spice tea.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know, just getting into all this tea stuff. So
too much Bengal spice though makes my stomach upset.
I can understand that because it's really spicy. It's got a lot of different spicy elements in there. So
yeah.
How did outside of being distracted, how did your writing flow during that time?
I feel like I'm trying to write at a cleaner draft than I need at this point. My plan is to read some 1920s fiction set in the 1920s, because I do like that era, and I feel like I've read a fair amount of 1920s fiction, but I don't feel like the voice is right. So I'm trying to write this very clean draft when in reality I'm going to read some 1920s fiction and come back in and style it more 1920s. So I'm going to be drastically reworking it once I have words on the page. But
got it.
Yeah, and then I didn't realize Jeeps weren't invented until 1948 or something. So
yes, I think I knew that because my dad's a pretty big Jeep fan. So, but I probably would have put one in anyway.
Yeah, I was going to, and then I'm like, well, I guess he's on like a mule-driven wagon in the middle of the jungle. There's no Jeeps, so
Because that's what was popular then.
I, I feel like a Model T Ford wouldn't make the ruts that are out there. So
Right. Yeah. So are you still working on that this coming sprint as well?
yes, I think I'll do one more sprint on this. I might do them all on this. But I also still have not finished the read through of my book too.
Oh, okay.
My focus is all over the place. I have too many options right now for what I can work on.
Mhm.
And this weekend I decided I really need to narrow down to the short story because I want to get this done. And just edits of book two. So
Got it.
yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to continue on with my pirate story. I did get a speech in there, so
Awesome.
I'm kind of flowing a little bit. So I want to take advantage of that flow now and see
Mm-hmm.
how far it goes tonight. Um, so, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with our next sprint then.
Good luck.
All right. Two. All right. Welcome back to our short break. How did we have a guest? Yay, Bailey. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Bailey.
Let us know what you are writing or doing or working on in the comments. So I noticed, Melissa, that when I write post a comment in the box,
Oh,
it's under you. So
probably because I set it up.
and because it's streaming to your thing. So just thought that
Ah,
was
interesting.
interesting. Yeah. So good to know.
I just so you know, Bailey, I'm on my phone because my internet's not very great. So I'm trying it from my phone, but that means I can't really do all the cool effects that we normally do, like switching screens and stuff. So
Right.
Samantha's doing that for me.
Yeah. So we've
Meal
got
prep.
yay. That's a good idea. Doesn't really help our stories to get finished though if we're doing meal prep during our sprints. So we have to do those at a different time. But very cool. How did that go for you, Melissa? That's great.
I started writing, but then I realized I just got hit by a wave of super tiredness. So I switched over to edits again.
Okay. Cool. I was a little bit distracted trying to do some more research. Um, like who's supposed to be on the crew? Like I have technically five characters, but I'm trying to figure out who is part of the crew are they? And then
Mhm.
of course I have to look at, well, who belongs on a pirate ship and what do they do? So just so I have an idea. So I did get some of that done, and I wrote. Oh, I've lost my where I was writing. Yeah, I didn't write very much, like 70 words in that sprint, but I did get some ideas as far as for from the research, etc. So
Mhm. That's
it
cool.
will,
Good.
yeah,
Forward motion.
forward motion. Yes, this is important. So, and so you're going to be doing your edits probably the rest of the this next sprint, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I got so tired all of a sudden.
Mm,
So I can read a story and mark down where it sounds funny. So I have the capacity to do that.
right.
I even got goosebumps at one point that I just read. So there's at least one part that's scary
Oh,
for me. I know everything that happens in this book, so hopefully it's scary for the readers more often than just once. Um,
right.
but I scared myself once, so that's good.
It's kind of like making yourself laugh. Does it count?
Sometimes depends on how hard you laugh.
Yeah. No, it's no, that's good. Actually, if you can scare yourself and you know what's going on, then that's I don't know. That tells me that you probably um, wrote it pretty well. So
My pink
awesome.
marks all over the page would say otherwise, but
Oh, that's
but
okay.
the storyline maybe is good.
Yeah. So Bailey, let us know what meals you're prepping, and should we come over for dinner? Might be a long trip. We're both not in Colorado, but it might be a good reason to um, get a plane flight out there. Have
I
some
bought spirulina powder for the first time ever and made a vibrant colored smoothie today.
very cool.
We're all invited.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. Uh-huh. Yeah, I have some super greens. I told my husband that I was going to start doing more green smoothies for us. But since I did not plan well while I was out of town, this week isn't, yeah, just, it's not, at least the first few days. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe tomorrow. All right. So let's do our next sprint, 25 minutes. And let's go ahead and start. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, here. Let me see if I can undo it. I did it. I was able to.
I pressed it, but I guess I didn't press it hard enough.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hey. So, share. How did it go? How's your reading?
It's hard to judge reading, but I've got like a quarter of the book left, so that's good.
Okay. It's
Um,
good.
there are places where, even though this was a rewrite and I thought I was doing amazing, there are places where I switched tense, but um, I think since these rewrites, I've learned that I do better when I slow down and get less words in a
Hmm.
writing session,
Right.
but do more quality. So I remember at times with the rewrites, I was pushing to get it done. So
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm realizing, as I go through this, because one, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just me also. It's hard for me to, after the first draft, kind of go back and not work on all aspects of something. Obviously there's things I'm going to miss the second time around, but they're all pretty present when I'm doing a rewrite for me, uh, from what I can see. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I I don't want to slow down too much. Like I don't want to write super clean because
right.
there is more depth that I get as I go through it the second, or third, or fourth time.
Hmm.
Um, but I want to write a bit cleaner than that. Than that last paragraph I just read.
Right. Well, and, obviously, as you continue to write, that's going to become easier and easier to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
good. See what we've got. Bailey has all of his berries washed and sweet potatoes are on the stove.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, sounds like the tea that I'm drinking, actually, a little bit. Uh, that's awesome. Nice job. Oop. Oh, you kind of like went out for a moment. I was like, did I
Nope.
accidentally
My
remove
whole
you?
thing did as well. And when you said oop, I was like, maybe it's not me. But yeah, it was probably just me.
So I did get some writing done. Let me see. I am at officially 649 words for the whole time.
Awesome.
For all three sprints so far. Um, I did erase about 150 to 200 words right before the end of the sprint because I realized it was the wrong point of view. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a minute, that my captain wouldn't know that because he's not there. so, um,
Okay.
so at least I was able to like cut that out so I wouldn't have to do it later. But um, I am getting through the scene and it's about ready to move into scene 8. And our pirate crew is going to be setting sail to, I guess, landing on an unknown, uncharted island. So we will see how that goes.
Almost the treasure.
Right. Looking for, they're looking for somebody who is looking for a treasure.
Okay.
So, yes, we'll see. But, and yeah, I might have to get rid of the gorillas and little tiny men that are on this island. I haven't figured that out yet if I'm going to or not. It almost sounds like these little tiny green men, like aliens. They're not there, but that's all I could think of when I was writing the first draft was like these little tiny, like just super, like maybe a foot tall, 6 inches to foot tall little tiny men.
like like oversized army soldiers or whatever.
Like those, oh no, like just 1 foot tall. So like
Mhm.
foot soldiers, I guess. Yeah, kind of like I didn't want them to be like natives, with spears and all of that kind of stuff. But um, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. So
I think gorillas could be pretty fun to get chased. Well, I mean, I don't want to get chased by a gorilla, but
yeah, I have them like rolling through like this forest, like the gorillas rolling after them. So it's who knows. We'll see. I don't know. I like gorillas. I think it's kind of a cool little bit. So maybe I'll just stick with the gorillas.
I don't like monkeys, but I think it sounds funny. So
We'll see. We'll see. When that happens, my cat's ears go like this. She's like, "What is going on?" She doesn't like that. So we've got 14 minutes left until it's technically our time to leave our sprints. Do we want to do a shortened sprint or do we want to do a full 25 minutes? What's
I'm sleepy enough. I would appreciate a shorter sprint, but I could do 25.
okay?
What do you prefer?
I'm also pretty tired, so
Okay.
let's go ahead and do a shorter
Oh,
sprint.
great.
I guess if I could, I have lost my little. There we go. Found it.
Thank you, baby.
So we'll just do. What do we have? Technically, we have 13 minutes. Let's do a 15-minute sprint.
Okay, sounds good.
Sound good? Okay.
Bye, baby.
All right. So let's do our 15-minute sprint, and then we'll see how that goes.
See you there.
All right. Hello. That was so quick.
It was.
Was let's go ahead. Did you get some reading done?
I did not. I was hoping to finish the book, but that's kind of unrealistic. So, how about you? How's your writing?
So I decided to, since it was only 15 minutes, I decided to go to my newsletter and work on a few things for the next newsletter, which is in 2 weeks. So just kind of duplicate it and create a new canvas for the next one and whatnot. So that way it's ready. And when I have something to put in it, it's already ready for me to put something in there. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
Sounds like Bailey's eating well too.
right. Chicken in the oven. Awesome. He makes a good chicken for sure. So
Is that a whole chicken or chicken breasts or chicken thighs?
I know that so in the past he has put, like, he's taken a whole chicken that's already cooked from the store,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's um, put all kinds of seasonings and whatnot on it and put it back in the oven. So
Ooh,
he's making jerk chicken.
nice.
Very cool. Sounds
Oh my
awesome.
goodness, my kid is stealing everything.
Yeah, my cat was behaving badly if you hadn't noticed earlier.
She has several of my pens. Oh, breasts and legs. Um, she's taken several of my pens and I don't know where they are.
Well, good thing you use a laptop or a computer then.
Yes. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, it's 10:05, so we're going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Bailey, of course, thank you for coming. Hope you continue to get your meal prep done. And
Enjoy your dinner. It sounds yummy.
yeah, sounds delicious. So we'll see everyone next Tuesday. And until then, have a wonderful week.
Next Tuesday's book talk too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wrath becomes her. Do you?
No, it's over there.
Okay. Well, if you're interested, come on by on next Tuesday.
I
All right.
appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you all next Tuesday.
Bye.